I have a confession to make. I am a certified Exploration Zone content hater. Occult Crescent? Didn't ask for it. Boja? Depressing just thinking about it. Eureka? Never even been there.
What?
And yet, somehow I ended up clearing Fork Tower and getting this silly little mount, which I love. And you know what? I had a great time doing it. In fact, I had such a good time, I wanted to tell you a bit about how I got here. I wanted to talk about creating the positive experiences that we want, and maybe inspire you as well. Exploration zones were lauded to me for years as being the kind of content that made an MMO feel more like an MMO. They were supposedly this place where everyone would hang out with their friends for countless hours together, giving them a reason to play the game. As an Endwalker launch sprout myself, I heard repeatedly how Endwalker's biggest failing was the lack of an exploration zone. I was told that the focus on improving the solo narrative experience and the steady release of high-end raid content came at the cost of removing the large-scale social MMO experience which exploration supposedly served. In the twilight of the WoW Shadowlands drama and several years of continuous boom and bust media cycles for various upstart MMOs, a whole lot of doom posting was done about how FF14 and MMOs in general have lost that special sauce that made us fall in love with them decades ago. Personally, I don't think MMOs as a concept are intrinsically worse than they used to be. Certainly, they have not escaped the effects of enshittification that have plagued the gaming industry as a whole. But in terms of content and the systems they offer their players, decades of optimization, improvements, and the endless search for more content to play have resulted in MMOs that are overall better products as shared virtual worlds offering us more gameplay opportunities. For example, I first played RuneScape in 2006, and that world has so much stuff crammed into it in the past 20 years, you can't click on the other side of the screen without tripping over old content. But you know, maybe the doomsayers are right. Sometimes it does feel like our experience within these worlds are somehow lesser than they used to be when we would get online after school and spend hours clicking on rocks or e-dating. We're older now and more mature, with busy lives and no patience for games that waste our time with undercooked content when we're spoiled for choice with more games than we could possibly play every year. Right? Right? Yes and no?
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious.
As I've gotten older, I've become more keenly aware of the passing of time. That awareness inspires a desire to value the time that I spend on things, to make them feel meaningful and memorable. I don't just want my time to feel fun and exciting in the moment. I want to create memories that I can reflect on and feel joy in recounting. When I think about my fondest memories playing MMOs, it's never about better systems or moment-to-moment gameplay. The memories that stick with me after many years are the experiences that I've had with those worlds as a whole and the players within them. I want to create those kind of experiences now, so that in 10 years I will be remembering them fondly and telling stories about them. This inspiration was a core part of what motivated me to attempt organizing learning runs for Forked Tower. I'd heard how loved Baldician Arsenal and Delubrum Reginae Savage were by their dedicated communities, but I'd never participated in 48-player raids myself, and certainly never organized something as large. It was pretty daunting at first, simply trying to figure out how to manage recruiting for the runs and filling the rosters. Then there were the systemic challenges like instance progging, or navigating being respectful and supportive when curious snipers would join. Alright, who's our new friend here? Alright, whose party had 7? C, okay, if you can go ahead and pick them up. In order to give them the best experience possible, let them see as far as possible, allow them to enjoy most of the fight from the ground whenever they die, and we'll res them at the end of each fight and carry them forward. The large amounts of time that we had to spend grinding fates and engagements to get the weather to spawn. Learning to shot call the fights was a constant iterative process of planning my callouts before the run, only to fumble it halfway through a fight as I struggled to do the mechanics myself. Was that a bad call on my part? That was a bad call on my part, then I will take 100% the fault for that. But all of this friction helped shape the memories of this experience. As I filled each roster, I started to grow somewhat parasocial about the repeat names joining run after run. I didn't know these people, but I felt attached to seeing their names and doing another run with them. I wanted to keep people in their usual parties and on their preferred jobs as much as possible, not just to make progression as smooth as possible for me, but because I wanted them to feel confident and happy participating. I was extremely grateful for the ones with broad flexibility who patiently endured me shuffling them around to fill gaps or roles as needed. We would chat about games and life while waiting on instances to fill during instance prog, or waiting for the weather to spawn. Standing around on the platform waiting to enter the Fork Tower created opportunities to interact with each other and goof around, while curious passerbys would sometimes watch and chat or try to join. When snipers did join, we would try and make them feel welcome and carry them as far as we could without risking our own progression.
The freshie only has 1 res left, so if they die, probably leave them on the ground so we can res them after the fight. Yeah, this guy studied, he didn't die.
Because I saw him.
Yeah, I made the...
Yeah, he would have died if he didn't get the bubble.
But he like accidentally got clipped by it. Did we lose our freshie?
Yeah, they returned before we did the first pull. It's just pretty risky,
Still to
right?
make it this far without coming into original.
I know. I watched him literally accidentally correctly solve mechanics like 3 times.
The comedy and frustration of accidents like walking into a trap or wiping to a mechanic takes on a whole different vibe when you're sharing a voice call with 47 others. Oh, I think I used up one of my lives there. That was not invuln, that was arm's length. You can laugh things off to raise spirits, or help soothe things down if everyone's upset. As much as we all loathe having to join yet another Discord for things, the voice comms provided an organic medium for collaboration and camaraderie that just doesn't happen the same way with the text-only in-game communication methods. Can Inuki insta-kill these bats?
Possibly. I don't know for sure. They have a high evasion, so you're hitting against like 2 odds.
Oh, is that why in the guide they use the streetwear Goku image? Because he's dodging everything.
Yeah.
All right. I guess they know.
That's also why we LB them, is because they can't dodge LB.
Okay. When I would fumble my callouts, others would helpfully fill in or take the lead on mechanics that I was still learning.
All the way north. North.
Just the idiot.
Everybody in a square. Everybody in a square. Now step out of the square. Unless you have an AoE. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait.
It was a really fun challenge to try and find the right mix of timing and information that made the callouts helpful, and I got a lot of wonderfully kind feedback whenever I got it right. Each new progression point I achieved felt all the more exciting, not just because I was one step closer to clearing, but because it was a social and collaborative process throughout. I love thrilling fights and executing complex mechanics, but it's the social aspect that has that unique ability to turn even simple gameplay into memorable experiences that I will cherish and want to help others share. One day I won't be running, administering a run, and that way I can be one of the people that goes and stands on a platform.
We're northwest, hold on.
Oh, you're letting me have northwest?
Get your
I'm gonna go. I got a Occult Sprint. You'll never make it there in time. For me, progging and clearing Forked Tower was an experience that was more than the sum of its parts. There's plenty of components to the Forked Tower and the Occult Crescent that I could dissect and critique, and maybe that's a great idea for another video to sort of wishcast my thoughts. But for what it is now as a whole, and the experience that I've had so far with it, I've genuinely had a wonderful time in a way that I've never had in FF14 before. I feel I have a better understanding now of why players have fond memories of BA and DRS, and it makes me look forward to participating in those in the future. There's probably no correct answer to what is the right amount of friction in these kinds of systems, but from my experience at least, I'm proud of us overcoming those challenges, and I enjoyed the social interactions that it facilitated. These are the things that I'll carry with me long after the daily gameplay highs and lows have faded. For me, Forked Tower was a peak MMO experience. Letters for daggers, letters. Fix attacks before you move, please. That's 2. That's 4. Dodge now. Hold. D.
We got this.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah.
Congratulations, bro.
Well done, everyone.
Worried.
And it was super clean.
I just hear everyone taking screenshots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, I died there at the very end because
I got one doom stack right at the very end.
The dagger that we stood next to, I was so focused on calling the hits that I didn't realize my hitbox was just barely clipping the dagger there. I was too far over.
Time.
So
Yeah.
If you want to take the screenshots, take them at the top, not here.
I'm really happy that everyone made it out alive with lives enough to see this.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of us still have 3 races left. It was almost a perfect run. Well, congratulations,
Well
friends.
done, everyone.
Yeah.
Woo! We did it.
Yes.
Sorry, what were you saying, Hollow? We
Oh,
interrupted you.
I was just gonna say, because I know people have to go and stuff. I just want to say thank you all so much. There's been a number of times that people have like reached out to me, you know, in the last week or two, and offered. They're like, "Oh, I know you're so close to clear. Like, there's this group you could join them, you know, and get your clear." And like for one reason or another, the timing of it just didn't work out. And I was just like, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll clear with my group." So like, I'm really like. I was rooting on the back end. I was like, I know I can like try and find a way to like squeeze time to go join a different clear group, but I was like, I really want to clear with my group. So